A state inspection has uncovered a real house of horrors at a suspended vet's animal clinic. That vet is now charged with animal cruelty. Plus, today, the attorney for the dog owners whose surviving dog actually started this investigation says the doctor pulled a ruse recommending euthanasia for that dog. Fox 4's Laurie Berger obtained that investigative report detailing what investigators found inside the vet clinic. Laurie.
Well, Steve, anybody like you and me who owns a pet would probably have a hard time reading what is in this report. Dogs who needed to be put down, who were kept alive, to be poked and prodded in experiments, just general disarray inside in unclean conditions. But the most upsetting discovery, perhaps, pet parts kept in jars. What state investigators found inside Dr. Lou Tierce's Fort Worth Veterinary Clinic paints it as no place to practice medicine. Animal organs were kept in jars throughout the clinic. Bugs were visible in exam rooms. Stacks of drugs, trash, laundry, paperwork, and other miscellaneous material were strewn about the examination rooms, hallways, stairwells, operating room, laboratories, and offices of the clinic. Dr. Tierce surrendered Wednesday evening to police on charges of animal cruelty surrounding this dog, Sid. Tierce's former employee, Mary Brewer, notified authorities and Sid's owner that the vet had kept him alive for 6 months after the owner had requested he be euthanized. Fort Worth Animal Control removed several dogs from the clinic during their inspection Monday. In its order, the state says Dr. Tierce signed a handwritten statement admitting that he failed to euthanize a total of 5 dogs who needed to be put down. Tierce admitted that 2 of those dogs and 2 other animals at his clinic were left at his clinic to be euthanized. Additionally, one of the other 2 animals had been kept at his clinic in a cage for 2 to 3 years after he had accepted it for euthanasia. Tierce's former employee says the dogs were not well cared for. Mary Brewer also stated that several other animals were being kept in cages for 23.5 hours a day while being experimented on. In addition to the issues with Dr. Tierce's patients, investigators found open and unsecured medications, including some controlled substances, were also strewn about the clinic and in such a fashion that controlled substances would easily be stolen and abused by employees, clients, or visitors of the clinic. The board concluded Dr. Tierce is a threat and danger to his patients. And that license suspension means that Dr. Tierce cannot perform any kind of medicine at his veterinary practice at this point. He will have an opportunity to dispute that suspension coming up at a hearing within the next couple of weeks. However, he does also have those criminal charges of animal cruelty, which have been filed as well. Steve?
Laurie mentioned something off the top, and then you and I talked about, we've exchanged some emails about this idea, the attorney for the family that owns Sid. You've talked about dogs that were supposed to be euthanized but weren't. This attorney says this dog, Sid, was healthy, but the doctor recommended it be euthanized. Talk about that.
Right, and Sid came here initially because he had, a pretty minor problem. The doctor suggested this new technique, and then when the owner came back up, the owner says that the doctor suggested that they use Sid to kind of calibrate that x-ray machine and supposedly found some kind of deformity in the spine. But, now the attorney who's representing the family says that there was never any congenital problem with the spine at all, and that recommendation to put Sid down should never have happened. So for this family, you can understand just an absolutely tragic situation.
They've got him back, and they think he's on the mend, that he'll be okay. All right, Laurie Berger, thank you very much.